Shocking news. Jamie Dornan banned his wife from watching his movies. Amelia finally speaks out. Amelia Warner woke in the middle of the night, the moonlight shining through the high curtains of her Cotswolds mansion. The words she couldn't shake echoed in her head, "You're not allowed to watch his movies." She sat up, her hands shaking from the aftershocks of her dream. In the dream, Jamie Dornan, her husband, stood a few meters away, his eyes stern, his hand raised as if to command, "You're not allowed to watch." She remembered the feeling of anger mixed with disappointment, as if imprisoned in an invisible room. In fact, Amelia had long known that Jamie had his own silent limits. He didn't like her watching sensitive scenes, sex scenes, or nudity in his movies. But forbidden was a much stronger word than a polite request, and she never thought he would set such a limit. She pulled the covers up, trying to find sleep again, but her mind was spinning. Was this just an illusion, or a hidden message from the feelings between the two? Shocking revelation. The next morning, in her private music room, Amelia put her hands on the piano keys. But instead of the piano playing, she was silent, looking out the window, her eyes looking up at the misty garden. She left the house, drove to a small cafe on the outskirts of the village, and chose a quiet corner. A familiar staff member brought her a cup of herbal tea, no sugar. She sighed and pulled out her phone from her bag with the recording app already on. This is just a normal conversation, she told herself, and started recording. Hello, this is Amelia Warner. There is something I have kept hidden for too long, and today I decided to say it. The revelation spread like a small storm in the entertainment industry. Jamie Dornan banned me from watching the movies he was in. The news immediately caused a stir in the tabloid press and social media. Celebrity magazines were scouring the site, paparazzi were waiting outside the house, but Amelia was undaunted. She continued recording. He said that if I watched it, it would hurt his feelings, it would make him feel ashamed, it would make me compare myself to the characters he played, and that could damage our love. She continued, I don't deny that there were uncomfortable scenes, but I asked myself, if I am his partner, why shouldn't I be allowed to see his work? I want to understand him, and in a way, I want to share with him through cinema. The post was shared across cinema websites, and fans from both sides were in an uproar. Some defended Jamie, saying he just wanted to protect his marriage. Others defended Amelia, saying she deserved fairness and transparency. Memories of memories. Amelia recalls the early days when she and Jamie met by chance. In 2010, she was a young actress with a passion for both acting and music. Jamie was already well known in the modeling industry and played small roles. They met through a joint art project, then gradually understood and fell in love. When they first fell in love, they watched movies together, sat next to the screen, laughed, talked about acting, about roles, about emotions. She remembers the first time Jamie asked her not to watch the sensitive kissing scene he participated in. He blushed, embarrassed, said it was only because he was worried she would be confused. She laughed and said, "You are an actor, you have to understand, it is a job." But slowly, the requests became requests, and restrictions gradually took place in the relationship. She remembers one time Jamie played a role in a psychological romance movie. There was a gentle love scene with a female co-star. When he saw the edit, his face softened and he said, "I hope you don't see this scene." At that moment, she knew he was afraid of seeing his wife remind him of the characters he played, afraid of comparison, afraid of holding on to the argument in his heart. She didn't resist strongly, because she loved him, because she believed that love would reconcile. But the small feelings in her heart gradually accumulated. Tense dialogue. After the revelation went viral, Jamie Dornan requested a public interview to clear the air. In the afternoon, they appeared together in a television studio, facing the MC and the camera. The MC began, "Hello, Amelia's revelation that you forbade her from watching your movies has caused a stir in public opinion. Can you clarify whether this is true or just a misunderstanding?" Jamie looked at Amelia, his eyes thoughtful, then clasped his hands, saying, "I don't forbid her in the sense of forcing her, but there are times when I feel uncomfortable, insecure, when she watches scenes where I, in the role, have to show intimacy. I say, I don't want her to watch, more out of concern, not because I want to control." Amelia interrupted, "If concern is an excuse, then I have the right to worry that silence has hidden the fear that I, Amelia Warner, cannot see the real you on screen." The MC was silent, the atmosphere was heavy. Jamie looked down, then sighed, "I understand what you said. Maybe I was wrong to use the word, forbidden. I apologize." Amelia replied softly, "Apologizing is the first step, but from there, many other things need to be said." The interview ended in silence, not a thunderous applause, but a heavy feeling after the truth was exposed. Public opinion wave. Throughout the following days, the press published a series of commentaries, entertainment magazines dissected psychology, personal freedom, and the rights of wives in celebrity marriages. On social networks, fans of both sides fought fiercely. Someone wrote, "If Jamie really loves Amelia, he should trust her. Forbidding only leads to suspicion." Someone defended Jamie. "It's understandable that an actor doesn't want his wife to watch. She will see sensitive scenes and worry about losing trust." Amelia read all the comments, some encouraging, some sarcastic. But she told herself, she had to be strong to keep her self-worth. One day, she received a handwritten letter, unsigned, sent to her home, in which was an excerpt of what she said during the recording session. "I want to understand you, and share with you through cinema." The last line of the letter read, "Please don't be silent." She knew, perhaps someone in the industry knew about this secret, and now it had spread. Finding balance. After the media storm, the couple decided to retreat from the spotlight, returning to their villa in the Cotswolds to heal and talk between the two. They sat in the dark living room, with only warm yellow lights and small candles. Jamie sat on the sofa, Amelia sat opposite. She looked at him, her eyes were both strong and soft. Jamie began, "I was wrong to use the word, forbidden. I was worried that you would think negatively, that you would be hurt when you saw the character I portrayed. But deep down, I was also afraid that I would be compared, afraid that I would not be enough for the image on screen." Amelia replied, "I understand your fear. But I also have the right to see my husband's work, the right to understand the parts of your soul that you reveal on screen. If the emotional scenes made you uncomfortable, you could have reminded me, you could have explained before I watched, instead of ordering me to, don't watch." Jamie was silent for a moment, his eyes flashing with shame and regret. "You were insensitive. Love shouldn't have such a metal barrier." Amelia put her hand on his. "We have to start over, starting with the smallest things, communication, trust, respect. If you are afraid of a scene, tell me. I will skip it, or we will watch it together, or I will stop. But please do not take away the right to see you, to look at you through the screen." Jamie hugged her, gently saying, "I promise to change from now on. I will not forbid you, but I will tell you if there is a scene I am not comfortable with. We will share it together."